picking up right where we left off with this 1982 Camaro Berlinetta on the Toyota Land Cruiser chassis. Last video, we just kind of separated the Land Cruiser from the chassis and deleted the Camaro suspension, wheels, all that, axles, and we just set her on there to find out if this is even gonna work. And it looks like it is. We're gonna make this work. With today's video, we're gonna shove her in with the old Massey Ferguson, and I think we'll pick the whole thing up by the frame and just have a closer look underneath at how things are lining up, and we will get started on figuring out the steering. That is my number one concern, whether I can figure all that out. And then we will move ahead, depending on video length, with actually welding the chassis on to the frame. And I don't know if we'll get around to actually driving it yet in this video or not, but we're going to do our best and get as far along as we can. Now I can easily mark that and cut. Yeah, looks like we're clear on the engine. That all looks fine. Yeah, got tons of real estate to build mounts and weld to, and I guess back here the closest spot is right here. So it might be nice to use this and go right to this heavy duty control arm mount. That would be ideal for our main rear mount. You know, if we're gonna lop this frame off back here, I suppose we could maybe go from this gas tank mount and do another stand back here for extra support. And yeah, up here, you know, we're in the general area. We might end up going a little more inboard with these mounts, getting rid of this entirely, going up to this area. Up front, let's see, yeah, the Land Cruiser mounted right here at the front, and we're right under this front cross member perfectly, so we could probably build something there too. And yeah, the name of the game, steering. I think we're gonna completely eliminate this Toyota steering box, unbolt that, get that out of the way. So you see the angle it's coming out at right there, and I don't even know if we can see the Camaro steering column is way up higher. Right, we're gonna have to come down probably all the way out to here with our steering box, snake it through here, and we'll probably delete this. I don't know. We'll tie in up here somewhere. We'll make it all work. It's gonna be fun. Okay, let's get after it. And I guess the first thing I'm gonna do is pull that steering box off. All right. Pretty greasy and leaky. Probably no good anyways. There we go. Alright, all that real estate we just gained here to get our steering column through. There's our steering. You guys see that? Right there. So we're going to clear the frame. It's going to come down through here and land our steering box down here. Now I just got to get rid of this cockamamie thing down here. There we go. A little pivot point, and then we'll just take our pitman arm and go right to there. Hopefully it all works. Okay, well, guys decided I'm gonna go with a Land Cruiser 60 series box in here. The old one, remember, mounted up here. The shaft came out this way at a wrong angle. If I were to use that Camaro box, I'd have to mount it way out front here and have just this huge long steering shaft. And I don't know, that seems a little complicated. I do have a power steering one of these boxes. They're the same shape, same bolt pattern, everything. So if I mock it up with this guy, I can switch to a power steering box once I figured out a power steering pump. And we can take the 60 series steering arms, whatever, because this one's going to be a little short. And I have lots of those too. I just need to figure out how to adapt this little guy here to, I was going to use the shaft there for the Camaro. I do have an entire 60 series column here. I can snag that shaft out of and maybe weld it into the Camaro one after I cut it or something. Make a little adapter. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It'd be nice to have a little bit of adjustability in the column. You know, they're supposed to be able to kind of lengthen or compress if you're in an accident and stuff. So to be continued. All right, well, I think I got myself a plan here. I got the 60 series box and I got the little stubby shaft from the 55 series here. And then I cut a piece of the 60 series shaft that fit in there. So now all I got to do is open this up a little bit, shove this in there, weld the snot out of it, and we'll have ourselves a steering vehicle. Plus, you know, change these steering arms and stuff, which there's a few of these. If you go back and watch the revival video on this Land Cruiser from way back, I actually welded a few of these tie rods together anyways, just to make this thing move around the yard. So I do have new ones I was going to put in there, but if we just switch to the 60 series stuff, hopefully it all bolts in there. Everything's fine. We'll just drill and bolt this box onto here. Then we get to move on to the fun stuff. All right, I got updates. Steering box is bolted onto the frame. We got our, I don't know, different center link on here from the 60 series. I had to remount this hole because it's a little heavier duty than the 55 series. But that's gonna work. I still have this ball joint to change. I have a new one for that because that one's welded together. And then I've got my custom steering shaft here all welded up. Should be good and sturdy. I guess I could do, you know, drill it here and do a plug weld too, just for peace of mind. But I'm gonna just rock it here for now. It's not like I'm gonna be careening down the highway at this thing in high speed right away. I just want to be able to cruise around the yard with it. So now I'm gonna lift the body back off and I'm gonna cut holes for the shifter before I start more solidly positioning and mounting the body. And then yeah, then it's on to, you know, brakes and body mounts, clutch. Yeah, this car doesn't even have a clutch pedal, but the Black Firebird does. Okay, so this is my best guess anyways at where my shifters are gonna go. I still gotta cut the carpet on that one, and this one, there's something up top holding it there. I gotta go in and cut from the inside, but yeah, figure with this big bend on here, it's gonna be further back. So we'll lower it down and crawl inside and see how we made out. All right, still a little smoky in here, but we had to go a little bit bigger than I thought, but really we got all of that room for forward and back, but we can get into all the gears. That will do. And I haven't tried to move this yet. It's a little stiff, but we're up in 2 high right now, so it's got to come back and then over, I think, for 4 low. So if we have to trim a little out of here later, we will. But we have shifting once one step closer. So let's leave her in neutral here. Pull that back out. All right, managed to finagle that custom steering shaft I made in there. By golly, it works. So it's one thing off the list, more or less. Got lots of real estate to mount a power steering pump on here down the road, and actually got a pump already pulled off the 60, same shape, everything, but it's got the lines and all that, so we're looking good as far as steering goes. Yeah, really. Now I just gotta tack this thing in place, and you know, I could sit in it, fire it up in gear, you know, and just bang shift it around, and it's basically operational to get around the yard. I mean, I'd like to hook up the wiring harness, and it'd be the old V6 harness I kept from the Firebird, and we could wire that all in here so that this thing will start with the Camaro column. That shouldn't be too hard. Okay, first body mount. What do you guys think? I think that'll do. Might add a few more gussets on here eventually, but yeah, I'm liking that'll hold it for now. Let's try and replicate that on the other side, and then yeah, we'll see. We might just leave the back alone for the moment. As long as we got 2 in here, I think we could try firing it up, jamming it in gear, and getting her out for a couple laps around the yard. Okay, it's a new day. I got work coming in I got to do, so I got to get this thing out of the way. I have done just enough wiring. This thing should be able to fire up in gear and you know, idle its way out of the garage, so I don't have to push it around. So that's the goal here. This is going to be the first start with the body on the chassis here. Nothing shorting out. That's good. Oh, there we go. Okay. Might as well close that. We even got a fuel line hooked up. Should be set to pull fuel from the Camaro gas tank here. So we're in neutral. Let's see if it starts. Oh, where's my screwdriver? All right. Nothing. Huh. All right, well, I don't know why I got nothing, but I mean, that's right. This car had like a neutral safety switch or something. Yeah, I got to figure that out because I want to be able to start and stop this with the key. All right, well, it's light enough to see, easy enough right here where the center console used to be, easy enough. We should get fire now. Come on, baby. But if we're getting fire, that should make her light off. Yeah. Yep. Well, success. I just kept filling the float bowls up there. I don't know if that pump's sucking yet. This thing might need a new fuel pump. Give you a look at the other body mount I made up here. Probably gonna end up plating this and tying into the subframe up here, beef it all up, maybe another gusset on the back. We'll make her good and strong because we're gonna ride this car up in the whipsaw and crazy places. So here we go. We'll disconnect that for now. And yeah. Oh, I wonder if my carburetor little solenoid cutoff was working. I didn't hear it clicking. That could be why it's not getting fuel into the carb. Anyways, I gotta clean the garage, get ready for the day's job here. Should be rolling in any second. Okay guys, we cobbled together a radiator and slapped that electric fuel pump in there so she's running, and a throttle cable. So I think it's time for a little test drive around the yard. So here goes nothing. Okay, so left turn radius, not good. Turns right, okay, but I think it's to do with this arm being too long, and we just can't get the, yeah, you know what I mean. So that's a bit of an issue, especially going around tight places. Well, I guess I might as well put her in the shop and see if we can get our brakes working and look into this clutch situation. All right, well, here we are back in the shop. The guy got to wondering, can you take that Toyota Land Cruiser Clutch Master, which was brand new, and mount it down here in the speedometer hole? And I think with the right amount of persuasion on this inner fender, we can get enough room to mount that in there and probably clear the brake booster as well. These Camaros and Firebirds and Trans Am, it seems like only in 1982 they had a clutch cable instead of a hydraulic clutch, I'm realizing. So when I pulled the pedals out of the black Firebird, which you can see over on my other channel, Rust Busters, it had the arm here that mounts on the clutch pedal, but none of the other linkage and stuff. And I don't know, I think that's going to get a little complicated to try and make a clutch cable work with the Toyota transmission. So if I put that Clutch Master in, it's going to end up right around this area, which is behind the pedal. So somewhere in here, we'll probably drill a new hole and be able to mount that thing and have this work. So I guess I just got to get a big hammer and start whacking here until we get enough room. I don't know if you guys are going to fall over if I try and put you here. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah. gonna work. Already so much better. Like it almost fits. This is awesome. Alright, I'm gonna need 2 hands to swing this here hammer. But you guys get the idea. So drilling the holes is gonna be fun. I might have to do that from inside. But yeah. I guess I'll bring you back in once I get this kind of mocked up here. We'll see how it fits. Well, she's bolted in there, and my master cylinder still seems to fit, I think. Oh, okay, so it is touching a little bit there. Just on the plastic body. Wonder if a guy could put a dent in this thing. Why not, hey? It doesn't need much. We could try that. Anyway, things are moving along. I will have to... It might be nice to not take this thing in and out so many times if I can kind of guess whereabouts I need that hole. I'd like to drill that first, and then we'll slap the pedals back in and see if our rod lines up, and we gotta run our line. It's only gonna take all day. All right, guys, I'll show you what it looks like on this side. You see, I had to kind of shift the pivot over there. I tried it out. It's really stiff pushing the pedal. Probably just because my leverage point is not as good as it was in the Land Cruiser. I don't know if there's a way I can lengthen this pedal or modify it to get more force on it. I mean, it works, but it's a workout. So, yeah, under the hood here, that's what it looks like, all installed. Just barely fits there between the booster and the wiring. I did put a little dent in the booster to make it fit. Yeah, so I suppose while it's in here, I might try and hook up some brake lines or just sort of see where I'm at with that. That's boring, you don't want to watch that part, so I'll do that off camera. And then, yeah, a couple more body mounts, and she might be ready for an actual road test. All right, it's a new day, back on the Lifted Camaro. Yeah, I finished off last night tinkering on the brakes. Figured I'd give you a quick peek about how I'm making all this work. Here we got the hose from the Toyota rear axle, with a little hard line I made in between, going to the hose that went to the Camaro rear axle. So we're running the Camaro line to the back. Up front here, we're, I don't know if you can see, I'm just running a hard line down. I got to reconnect that. I didn't need to disconnect it in the first place, I guess. But yeah, so we're just running a hard line up right here, up and over the firewall, back to the Camaro master cylinder. So that should, in theory, all work. You know, I mean, this axle clearly needs rebuilding. It's leaking pretty good. Even the brake pads are covered in grease and oil. But I think the brakes were working. You know, we got a big greasy patch on the tire here. I think that's gear oil, not brake fluid. You know, it's not a great situation, but hopefully for the time being they bleed up and work. I think in the long term, you know, if I'm going to run some big tires on this thing, I've got a few extra sets of 60 series axles, which are actually a little bit wider, which would fix this problem. You know, I guess in the meantime, I'll probably cut and shorten this bar to make this fit better. There's not a lot of adjustment in it. You know, I probably get 1 inch total, you know, and that bring this over to about here, but it's not going to help our steering that much. Maybe just enough. I don't know. I might try it if I can get it to move nice. But yeah, with the 60 series axles, you also get a park brake on the rear axle, which would be really nice to have in this thing. And it'll be a wider track. So, gonna get after that, get that bled up. Well, I've been cruising this thing around the yard for a bit now, testing things out. I blew off my lower radiator hose. Dang it. Okay, that's an easy fix at least. Sucks we lost a bunch of coolant though. At least we knew it got up to temp. Yeah, this is working pretty good. Brakes work good. I think I'm almost confident enough to slap my repairman plate on it and take it for a little cruise down the road. Yeah. Dad stopped by and helped me bleed the brakes, which was nice. So yeah, buddy down the road that sold me the black Firebird, he's got a set of 44-inch boggers that I think he'd like to sell me. I don't know what the price is going to be, but I'd like to try them out on here and see how it works. Well, looky what I found. What do you guys think of this? Got a line on these Super Swampers. I got one here home just for test fitting purposes. I guess it's a little far forward right now. Let's see. Yeah, we definitely would have to do a little cutting, but this would certainly make the look I'm going for. So I got one here for test purposes. I got to take it off of this 8-bolt beadlock wheel and mount it on my 6-bolt wheels that I have, and we can get to actually putting one on and seeing how much we have to cut. So I think that's going to be the name of the game here for the moment. starting to dig in. Stand back and look at this. It's definitely the look I'm going for. Just might be a little too big to be practical. I don't know. I like it. It's just you know, the whole matter of being able to steer, having enough gearing to actually use them properly. Oh man. They are cool though. I gotta see if I can find, he's only got 3. So, and he'd only really like to sell 2. So if I can find 2 more, if you're out there and you got a, let's see, what size were these again? 19.5 / 44-15. If you got yourself a couple of these, older, whatever, a few cracks in them, hit me up. I might just be your guy. I think this is probably where this video is gonna end up for this week. Next one, we'll have some sort of tires and wheels on it, whether it be these 44s or something else. But we'll be doing an actual road drive, see if we can get Dad involved, and we'll have a little fun. We'll use the thing.